Hey, Catalyst, have you ever had this fantasy of showing up to work, opening your EMR, seeing the 72 notifications of inbox messages, the 50 notifications of refills, the cosigns, and just pushing back from your desk and saying, nope? Is it just me? Okay, I know it's probably a shared fantasy. Now, we can't really decline these duties, but there's many parts in our life that we move forward and say yes when we really should be honoring our inner nope. So this episode is about creating your own nope list so that you can make better decisions and save your energy for things that deserve your inner power. Welcome to The Catalyst Way, the podcast for women clinicians ready to clear the chaos and create space to flourish. I'm Dr. Lara Salyer, a former burned out family practice doctor turned mentor, author, and professional calendar whisperer. I help women in medicine reclaim time, trust their intuition, and build practices that actually fit their lives. Each week, you'll get practical tools, creative strategies, and tiny shifts that help you color outside the lines and paint a work-life masterpiece of authentic, aligned joy. Okay, this episode inspired by what most people in my community think of as a wonderful and joyous summer activity. It's the Hot Air Balloon Festival here in Monroe. It's beautiful. Colorful hot air balloons in the sky. It's like a Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper cover. I mean, beautiful blue sky, colorful, bright orange, red, yellow, purple hot air balloons with different designs, whether it's patchwork quilt or animals or cartoons, and they're floating silently in the sky. You see them dotting the whole landscape. It's really, really beautiful. And they couple it with a blues festival. So you get to enjoy amazing local bands, tapping your foot, eating cheese curds if you're not gluten-free like I am, maybe grabbing a beer. It's a wonderful time, right? It's like who doesn't need an excuse for a summer festival? But there's something inside me that is so very loud when I see these balloons over my head and I look up and I see people standing in line waiting for a ride right next to me. And they're looking up excited. They can't wait to climb into that basket and go drifting over our green county with the clouds right in front of them and the cows in the pasture and the sun dappling on their shoulders, right? And there's moms and kids and families waiting in line to just go up in that basket. And all I can think of very loudly is, nope, not for me. Not for me, never for me. It's the creaky basket, it's the fire, it's the potential for tragedy. It's just not something that inherently makes me come alive. And I know everybody has their own fun activities, and I don't mean to yuck someone else's yum, but going up high, whether it's hiking to heights or in a Ferris wheel or a hot air balloon, it's just not for me. It's not for me. It's a nope. It's a nope. And it got me thinking about one of the key features of burnout, especially with women physicians, is we tend to say yes. We tend to just get groomed by the system of training in healthcare that we're taking care of everybody, right? Think of the ER model. Everybody comes in and you say yes, you take care. You're getting used to just doing things that may not light you up, but that's part of your job. And we signed up for that. And I'm not talking about those things, but it bleeds into other areas of our life. And in 2023, a Medscape survey showed that 76% of female physicians felt emotional exhaustion was the top symptom of burnout. Because we all know burnout is three things. Depersonalization, meaning you don't see yourself in this career making much of a difference. Low perceived achievement. You're not moving forward or feeling like you're really achieving or learning. And then the last is emotional exhaustion. And women tend to rank the highest in that because we have unspoken expectations, not just growing up in a capitalistic patriarchal society of being assuming by others that we are nurturing and harmonizing and empathetic and dealing with a lot of these unspoken expectations, but also inside a clinical healthcare system we have a lot of extra things that sort of seem to land at our little doorstep. And we just say yes because at the moment of this action, it's much easier just to do the thing than to raise a ruckus, right? And you would know this well if you tend to be, like a reflective river. You just sort of flow with what's there. Maybe people are naturally drawn to your empathy and your wisdom, and you flow easily. But the problem with reflective rivers, if that's your catalyst archetype, and if you don't know, take the quiz, drlarasalyer.com/create. You run that risk of emotional exhaustion because you're so flowy and bendy, and you accept and you can have this capacitance for eddies and flows and change. And you need a nope list. The nope list will save you. The nope list is helping you anchor into where you can spend the currency of energy and attention. And it really should be 80% of things that light you up. And then there's that 20% that might drain you that's just obligatory. But instead, most of us women clinicians are reverse. We're doing 80% of obligations because we feel that we should. And we're ignoring the 20% that light us up. We view that as a luxury or a treat or something extra if we get the other stuff done. And I'm here to flip that script and challenge you to identify stuff that really causes that inner nope come up in your body, because that's something to pay attention to. What we're teaching ourselves, the more we say yes to things that even are minimally annoying, we're just teaching ourselves to ignore our inner wisdom. We're teaching ourselves that we don't count, that it doesn't matter, that we have to do things, that we can't ever say no. And then that becomes this habit of victimhood and this enmeshment with the system that brought us up into our training, right? And so when we look deeper at neuroscience, and here's where I have to look at my notes because, sometimes I can't remember the facts as well as I would like. The anterior insula, right? That's the part of the brain that processes our feelings, that processes our gut, our intuition. It gets louder the more we practice it. I'd like to expand it into the woo in spirituality. The more we are quiet and receptive to our inner interoceptive conditions, we can hear the whispers because they're louder. But we often don't give ourselves that time for reflection or quiet. We're often moving from activity to work, to dropping the kids off, to signing permission slips, to delivering the forgotten lunch at school, to picking them up from school, going to parent-teacher conferences, to running them to dance practice or soccer or whatever. We don't have these moments to hone those skills in the anterior insula or really into our intuition, our inner muse, our wise soul. So if we create a nope list, it's awesome. It's not flippant. It's important. It's something that can help you identify and just tag certain things, because by writing them down or speaking them out or identifying them, for you resolute rocks, you love identification, right? But even just creating this activity, it sticks in your mind. So next time you come across something that's even similar or just a wisp of familiarity, you might stop and ask yourself, do I really need to do this? Or do I really want to do this? And the more you practice unwiring that behavior, the happier you'll be at life, but also at work, because everything bleeds into each other. There's no such thing as work-life balance. I hate to spoil it. So by practicing some of this material in your personal life, it also can extend into work life. Maybe you don't need to be on that committee that decides they're going to decorate for Christmas this year. I mean, it's fun. If it lights you up, great. But if you find that it's not fun anymore and you're dreading it and you're behind in your charts and now, you're threatening not to get reimbursed by Medicare, Medicaid or whatever, then let's kind of practice the no. And it can start with a silly list like the nope list. Quick pause. If you're loving this podcast and secretly dreaming about building a functional or integrative practice that doesn't burn you out, you're my person. Catalyst Studio is the 12-month mentorship for women clinicians who want to build or scale a membership style practice. We mix practical business strategy with creativity and flow so that you can build a thriving practice that actually fits your life. Come join us. It is the mentorship I wish I had had. You'll find all the information at drlarasalyer.com/catalyst. Okay. And if you're like me, sometimes you need examples, right? Our creative mind, sometimes when faced with a blank canvas, can just sort of freeze. Like, I can't even think of something I don't want to do right now, right? Because maybe you're pedaling through a little bit of burnout and you're feeling a little dissociated because the world is kind of on fire too, right? And so to have you think of a decision like even putting a nope list together can feel a little overwhelming. So I'm going to help you out with a list of some of the nopes that I have found inside my Catalyst studio. And these are from mentees, women that are all across different stripes of healthcare and learning how to step back into their power, their sovereignty, their creative self-expression, and redesign a career in medicine on their own terms. So here's some notes from inside the studio. Examples of a nope list are no longer accepting patients that ignore protocols. How do you find those? Well, it can be in your discovery call. You can change the way that you invite people into your services. Perhaps you have an application and they need to answer the application in certain ways that help you see, are they a good fit for you? You don't have to work with everybody. And if they're not a good fit, it's okay to say no. It's okay. And we help people do that, right? We help people with loving, beautiful boundaries because the more firm and confident you are in what lights you up, you'll just make more room for the people that are a good fit. Okay, another one is hosting webinars just because somebody asked you. So we're pretty thirsty in the very beginning of running a solo functional medicine practice because we're worried. We have the scarcity mindset that if I don't do it, nothing will happen. I won't get patients. But then there comes a point where you become the go-to person, right? Maybe your local gym or library or senior center or school. These are places I've spoken in the past. And maybe they heard you speak once and you ran an amazing webinar and their staff loved it and you liked it. You got lots of patients from it. That's great. But now let's say you have a different issue in your business. You don't need more patients. You've got a waiting list. But these beautiful people keep asking you for your expertise because you were a favorite speaker. And maybe they had a survey and you were listed as one of the top speakers last year. You were interactive. People love to hear your wisdom. And so you feel this tug. But guess what? You can say no. That can be a nope list. You can have qualifiers, right? Like I will only accept invitations to come back if I have a waiting list less than 5 people. Or, you can start to be creative about what might be a qualifier on that nope list. But it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, I'm sorry, my calendar is only available for speaking engagements for 3 hours every quarter. And I've already used up my 3 hours for this quarter and next. Or just simply, my calendar is not available. That's it, right? Another example from our inner studio here, our Catalyst studio, is doing administrative work that should be automated. It's a big nope. And so with all the tech advances, with AI, with the addition of staff and the ways that we can help support that change with SOPs and ways that just give you those templates, helping you create those next steps so you aren't sitting in that discomfort of indecision, you could be really quickly onto a new path in a new horizon where you're not doing administrative work that doesn't need to be done by you. There are other people out there that are faster, that are better, that don't have to Google how to fix something that is glitching in your tech because they already know how to do it and they're happy to help you. And so that's something that's on the nope list. The last thing I have is bending schedules to squeeze someone in. I know we have big hearts, but big hearts need big care and big quiet time and big boundaries. And it's okay to say, I'm no longer going to double book. I'm no longer going to squeeze people in. And you can even do it as a temporary measure. It doesn't have to be forever. So if you're new to boundary work or inner power and sovereignty, you can say to your staff, for the next 2 months, I'm not working anybody in at all. And that way you've made that decision. It's on your nope list. So what else can you have on your nope list? Okay. So here's an example of some things from people I know. I'm not going to name names, but like eating slimy food. Maybe textures are on your nope list. Maybe when it's above a certain degree outside, you just don't do a walk. It's okay to stay inside, right? Sweltering heat may not be your thing, no matter how beautiful it is. Or the reverse, if it's winter, it's okay to stay inside and cozy up. What else is on your nope list? Pets that have more than 4 legs. Yeah, I'm not going to ever own a spider or tarantula. No way. Maybe only owning pets that you can pet. Fish don't count in my book. That's a nope. So this can be a fun opportunity, and I encourage you to bring that to your dinner table with your family and your partners. Encouraging that conversation, what would make it on your nope list? What is the most interesting and unlikely thing? Because in this example, you saw that many people were standing in line to go on this beautiful hot air balloon ride. And there I was looking at it going, yeah, nope. Each of these nopes are gently pushing you more towards a life that feels completely aligned and fulfilled. So here is the catalyst question takeaway for today. What is one thing that your body has been saying no so quietly? And you're just now realizing you've been saying yes for so long, and maybe it's time to start listening. Where have you been saying yes when your body's been whispering no? Thank you for listening. If you love this episode, please like and share, recommend it to a friend or colleague, and check out the links in the show notes. I have a lot of freebies at drlarasalyer.com/create. And I'd love for you to start coloring outside the lines with me and practicing that 6th vital sign of creativity. Until next week, take care. Thanks for listening to The Catalyst Way, where we clear the chaos and create space to flourish in medicine and life. If today's episode lit a spark in you, your next step is to go take the Catalyst Archetype quiz. It's fun, free, and freakishly accurate. Go to drlarasalyer.com/create. In less than 5 minutes, you'll uncover your burnout risk, your creative strengths, and work rhythms that energize you. Because it's not about finding a perfect plan, but rather flowing with the one that fits you. Go to drlarasalyer.com/create. And remember, teeny shift create massive impact. So keep coloring outside those lines.